episode just came out. AD, Donkey Guy, bunch of you. Who else? A bunch of guys. Okay, I just answered some of your comments, and here's what you were thinking. And I was thinking this too. Right here. Right here. Okay? We have the fuel line. This thing goes all the way to the tank. There's nothing in the tank. It comes all the way this way, goes through the fuel filter. This. In and out. We think it's this is the fuel pump right here. Right here. So that makes a lot of sense to me. It's the only thing I haven't uncovered, and we all believe there's a fuel pump here somewhere. So let's get this thing off. Let's look at it. I thought it was a bad fuel pump to begin with until I started taking this head apart, and you know, I really want Meg to be happy. I want her to have Willie in her life, okay? And let's get into this. Let's go.
All right.
Here's the fuel filter we put in. Came right from the fuel tank. We got those clamps. I did not take this valve cover off. I'm going to now. Guys, this is like minutes after like I just posted the video, and a lot of you are saying, yeah, check the fuel pump. And that was my first instinct too. Alright, there's nothing else between the carburetor and this fuel filter, so I'm really hoping we see something in here. Come on.
So you don't think you have to take this
This is just the valve cover.
Just yeah, but you think the fuel pump's underneath it.
Yeah, it's going to be in this plastic
And you
thing.
think the problem is with the fuel pump?
I do, just as I originally expected. I just didn't see a fuel pump. I thought this was a check valve because of the directional thing, but I just don't have experience with these types of engines, that's all.
It's okay, John.
Yeah, you learn by unscrewing stuff. What do you think, guys? It's got to be internal, right? Hear that? Oh. Definitely a mechanical fuel pump. There's no electricity going to this thing.
Well, there's screws there you can undo.
Yeah. I was expecting it to be worse. What was that? The wind. Well, let's unbolt it. Should that be like that?
I would guess no. I mean, since it has a spring, I would assume that that is some kind of pump. Ooh, what's that?
I don't know, it was like just in here. That's strange.
Well, what's on the other side?
Well, that's the diaphragm.
See, I would think that that should be not like loose like that, right?
It's like this whole time I'm like expecting things to be worse than they are here. So there's this guy that goes through, that spring is on there, this pushes through to this, and this is just the, okay. So I imagine if something's gonna be bad here, it would be this diaphragm.
Doesn't look that bad.
Well, it looks wet, that's for sure, on the outside sections. Looks like there's a little, like, there's nothing torn here.
What I'm wondering about is that disc that was just loose. That doesn't make any sense.
Let's see, and then these together don't.
So this goes through, and does it have to line up with that side?
Why was this like just sitting like this?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. That can't be right. All right. So what did you find, John?
All right. Well, we took off the valve cover that was on the opposite side of the other head gasket that we took apart. This is just the valve cover. The head gasket is like down here. So we took this one off. We found that no, this is not a check valve. It's actually a mechanical fuel pump. So from the inside, we were able to unbolt it. You saw that, right? Inside of it, there is a little diaphragm here. And when I unbolted everything here, this part of what I believe is what secures the diaphragm as one unit. Like this goes through here, and then this is supposed to be attached to this washer looking thing. This was just loose. You could hear it just rattling around. And I think that's our whole problem here. This has destructed. It's supposed to be set in there like that, but you know, over time it's just worked itself loose, and it's just, it wasn't providing any sort of tension on the diaphragm. So I'm gonna go to the wonderful world of the internet and search for this model number here, 2439307 space 24602, and see what comes with a new fuel pump here. I hope that's the ticket, guys, again.
And the reason why you think we're getting the oil fuel mixture leakage is because of what?
If this is not clamped together with this washer, if this washer is just off, well, this thing's moving loosely. And there's probably fuel shooting around here. I saw some fuel on here too, between the two diaphragms. It just wasn't making a proper seal with that diaphragm. Diaphragm's not torn, but this thing self-destructed, and it's like that pressure's no longer there, so we essentially have a tear. We have a weak point in the diaphragm, which would cause...
It's mixing with the oil.
Yeah, which would cause... Right, this is the valve cover. I mean, you put oil right in here, so if you have fuel that's not going out and into the carburetor the way it should be, it's going to go right into the oil. And it's going to get into the engine, and the engine's not going to like it. So
why is it leaking? Why is it coming out?
Because it's shooting up through the breather tube into the carburetor. It chokes the carburetor, pretty much floods the engine, and all the stuff that's sprayed everywhere just leaks down the side of the engine and comes out the bottom.
Mm-hmm. So you think that one little quarter-sized little metal piece being not attached is making the whole thing not work?
This is our whole problem.
So let's fix it.
Let's giddy up.
Giddy up.
We gotta do three things. Order a head gasket, because we're not gonna use the same one. That's just a big no-no. We're gonna search for this part here, the oil pump, the fuel pump, and then we're going to drain the oil and replace the filter in the engine.
All right.
And then we'll fire up Willie. All right, guys, we have a couple parts ordered. Thanks to all who have actually helping me understand. As you know, this is not my specialty, and I firmly believe that you just got to get your hands greasy to learn a few things. A guy named Bill said he thinks it's the needle, and...
Do you want me to come over there?
Needle and seat. I took the carb apart. Carb has some fuel in it still. I just unbolted it real quick, took it off, popped the top off. There's just 4 screws holding the whole thing together. The rubber seal seems fine around it. Now, Bill said a good way to test these things, so this float, and you know, that was just my guess thinking this was a rollover thing, but this is basically, it allows the engine to send a certain amount of fuel to manage the amount of fuel that's inside the carburetor and delivering it to the engine. So, but this whole thing, it floats with that level of gasoline, and down here in the middle there's a little needle, and that needle touches a seat, which, if it's in its normal position, which would be this, you should be able to blow through the tube here and get air going through the fuel input. Hopefully you could hear that. Now, Bill said to blow in it and tip it over. Probably compressed air, yeah, but I don't really care. So that to me says it's functioning fine. we took this needle out and we cleaned it up with carb cleaner and everything, and we set back, you know, nothing seemed like there was anything in there. So, see, I would hate to put everything back together, get the new fuel pump in there, and then fire it up and we still have this this fuel flooding the engine, getting into the oil, because we're about to change the oil. So do I just go ahead and replace this needle in seat? Because I'd like to know, and I'm sure you would like to know, what was the problem? It seems like this is functioning to me and doing its job. It's not getting stuck open. Here, I'll do it a few times. So that seems like it's doing its job to me. Actually, let's see if it's... Yeah, it seems like it's working fine.
Yeah.
That's a cool test to do it that way. Another thing Bill mentioned is that these things can crack once in a while and they fill with fuel.
And then it
permanently stays open, pulling that needle down, and fuel will always be, you know, sucked in from the fuel pump. So, I think it's the fuel pump. Alright guys, remember the walnut tree that we put here? Like when we moved to our property? Yeah, don't plant a tree like that. That don't work. Alright, so let's go in the woods. I'll show you what's going on. Alright guys, we are on the driveway. That is the old log trail right there. I was working on this morning. I ripped out a huge boulder right there. And now, this is where that huge rock was. There's a piece of it, and we had 4 other pieces that came this way, all the way to this tree. And there's the remains of that rock that we split apart with Dexpan. Now this tree is a maple. I think, yeah, look, yeah, that's a maple. I think it'd be really pretty. I feel bad for this guy. When I ripped this rock out of the ground, this tree was basically just sitting on top of it, and then there was ground that just kind of collapsed. I want to get the skid steer and just lift up this ground and see if I have a taproot there. Although I don't really like what I'm seeing here. I see some bottom growth here. That might mean that the tree is giving up on the top growth and shooting out stuff on the bottom. But, I mean, leaves are coming. So, it's on par with the other maples here. Let's pick it up. Let's see what's under here. Damn. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, Uncle Pete? Alright, let's get this thing out. I'm going to put this thing where there's a heck of a lot more roots on this thing than there was on the walnut tree. Oh, that's not good. Rambo's shoulder here. We're gonna go bring it down, put it in the yard. Just water it. Parts have arrived, folks. Well, the fueler, or not, the breather tube. This was all brittle and cracked and everything, so we got a new one of these. That came. That's an actual genuine Kohler part. That's cool. We have a replacement valve cover with the fuel pump already assembled, so that's good. And a number of different ways to connect it. Different connectors that you go straight on or at a 90. And a little extra fuel hose. I'm not sure what this retaining clip is for. We'll have to see. What else? I wrote down the tightening schedule for this head gasket. We went ahead and got a new oil filter. This is the same one that's on the zero turn, Meg.
Yeah.
Yep, that one was. And then we got this gasket kit for this engine. So it looks like there's an intake and exhaust gasket on either side, and this is one head gasket. Couple O-rings. We're basically interested in this. I guess we might as well replace these also, the exhaust and intake. What a weird package, huh? All right. Now, let me think here. So there's this little spit. I think we should put it on down below. Does this one come out of here? Let's make sure. Let's do a dry fit real quick. All right. Let's say we got the right one, Meggie. Okay. There's our nice click. All right, cool. We are ready to torque down.
You're gonna want to take those screws out. They're gonna be in the way.
All right. All right, now let's talk about this. These, the push rods and the rockers. I have them still. This is the intake one. This is the exhaust set. We're gonna lubricate these before we install them. But you go all the way down there, and then it gets connected. All right, like that. It screws in here, and then this ball sits there. There's nothing to adjust here. Okay. The adjustment, which we haven't touched, is right here, according to the manual.
Okay.
But we haven't touched that. See, and what you would be checking the clearance on is this top head here to here. But being that we didn't touch anything here, you'd need to compress these threads and then screw it in. Although I'm not seeing how you can do that, but see, a lot of times these screws will have like a screw and then there's like a torque screw inside of here. Here's our, you got to make sure you're looking at your right head. And I indicated that by these little wings coming off to mount the grass shield on. So we're going to tighten it 1, 2, 3, 4 in 2 stages. The first at 200 inch-pounds. Because I just looked at the 200, then the 370. I was like, holy cow. Like, they don't make a torque wrench like for non-professionals. 370 foot-pounds. It's like, oh my god. Yeah, inch-pounds. So that translates to 6. You just divide by 12 basically. So 16.6 and 30.8. We will get in that range, give or take. And that's what we'll do. So we're gonna just kind of hand tighten these, make sure the threads start going.
So, boot update. In the last episode, you saw John get brake fluid all over my brand new boot. They're fine. Can't even tell. The black dot is popsicle. Yeah, I dripped popsicle on my boot like a little kid. But yeah, they're fine.
Okay, so it's at 10 right now. So we'll go, that's 16.6. About halfway would be right there. Let me lock it down. There. Did you hear it?
I heard it.
There you go.
Right?
I think so. Let's get the oil on it. Okay. Nothing else should in. Oh, sorry, birds. All right, guys. I wanted to give you a little update on our seeds. All these came up in the shed with our little light system. So that was successful. I'll probably be repeating that next year when I want to start some seeds. And this is the first night I left them out. So look at our beans. We got bush beans galore here. And we got some sugar peas here. Cucumbers are late. Zucchinis are just popping up. We got some bok choy and banana peppers. But guys, I didn't just sprinkle seeds. I did for like carrots and small stuff like that. But like these, I put 1 seed per container here. And the most successful, let me see here. Now these are right here. Those are tomato or cherry tomatoes. Those 10 right there. That came in like a 99-cent seed pack that you get at like the cheap stores, like the dollar store stuff. This one here were those So Easy seeds. Now these are Celebration tomatoes, the hybrids, and I have 100% success rate. Look at that. And there was 1 seed per container there. So I have 10 Celebration tomatoes. These are Independence Day tomatoes. I have a 60% success rate there. And then beefsteak is over here. So cool, this worked well. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be doing this again. Got some other exciting things coming up. Seems like peppers take a lot longer to germinate than the other stuff. I'm still waiting on a few things. And what's over here? Bell peppers are popping up too. So, all right, cucumbers are coming. We got a lot of stuff going on. Let's get up here and get this guy set. Let's fix Willie. All right, we left this yesterday, and I'm glad we did because I'm gonna do a few other things. I'm gonna properly torque the valve cover, and the rocker arms, I forgot to grease the actual rocker arms. So I'm gonna do that. Was doing a little reading last night about the engine here. All right, so it's double covered. Here's where we stand. I haven't touched the head of valve 2. I just did 1 here. This is all clean and ready to go, ready to be installed. Nice and neat. And I'm gonna unbolt those rocker arms, and here's what I learned on those. Now this is my reading and coming straight from the manual. This engine has rocker arms. Here's the push rods, here's the rocker arms. Here's the bolt that holds it down. there's a spacer that's like built into this bolt. This requires a certain foot-pound of torque, and then your adjustment is on these springs down here. You could test it once we get everything all set. We could rotate the engine a little bit, and these things should be moving a little bit as far as the clearance between the rocker arm and this spring contact surface, but it gives you a minimum clearance that you could check, not an exact clearance of what it needs to be set at. So I could check that real quick with feeler gauges, but it's really not even necessary because the adjustment portion down here, the springs, was not even adjusted. We didn't touch that, but everything's nice and clean. But what I want to do, I read in the manual, which I did not do, I'm going to take these off, and underneath that washer I'm going to grease it. It recommends to grease it, so I'm going to do that, which makes sense. So I'll put some grease in there, and then I will torque these to the proper specs, which is, let me see here, I wrote down my little notes here. Rocker arm bolts is 8.3 foot-pounds, so 100 inch-pounds. And then the valve cover on this side takes 4.2 pounds. These 4 screws takes 4.2. And the order is 1, 2, 3, 4. And so we'll get everything back in order. Then we're going to switch to this side and get that new fuel pump on there. So let's go. Needed to grease these according to the manual.
All right.
Just gonna apply a little bit of grease, not too crazy. There we go, that's nice.
There you go.
0.2, I can't even set it that low.
I have to use the John torque wrench meter.
I mean, I could go up to 10.
Right. Do you have the gaskets in there, right?
Yeah, it's all in here. Yep. All right, let's just trying to get them to bottom out, and then let's just torque them down, huh? What do you got? New breather tube? Nope. There you go. All right.
Do I need to
It goes right in there, right into the carburetor. It's perfect.
I don't need to squeeze that or anything?
Yeah, you do. Meg, show everybody what you're using.
Am I loosening it? Ratcheting.
Meg. So, I'm letting, well...
You're letting me?
No, I specifically handed this to Meg because, well, I want a real set of these one day, and I'm just showing her the value. That's one of the best inventions, tool-wise.
Now,
what are you doing?
Tightening? That's loosening.
Yeah, you gotta get it the right direction.
That's important.
Oh, here we go. This is what Meg requires, though. She requires my finger to hold the screw head.
I can do it without your finger.
Good job, Meg. Come on, get some Meg force into there. Yeah, look at those veins.
Okay, it's done.
All right, good. Don't kill our springs here. Hold on. Ooh. Good. Go ahead. Whoa.
Uh-oh. I almost dropped it.
No, my finger was there. Yeah, Meg. Good. It's just a bracket, so. Okay,
well,
cool.
that bracket is secure.
Yep. All right, moving on. What's next, Meg? So our pile of bolts is dwindling. We got...
John's under there somewhere.
Yep. I'm working with these square oil plugs.
That's John's favorite.
Yeah, right. Not gonna tell you how long it took us to get one of these loose.
It was bad.
There's the oil. Here it comes. Let's see what it looks like. Yummy. Oh my. Yep. That's a lot of gas. Holy.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like oil. That's all gas.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
See it coming out. Yeah, that's all gas. That's what a broken fuel pump will do to your oil tank.
Holy cow. We might as well just put some oil in here and run it for a few minutes and drain it back out. That's awful.
Wow.
That's just gasoline. All right. Curse you. Curse you, square drain plug. You know what I'm gonna do?
You're gonna weld on a regular
You're starting to know me, Meg.
bolt.
After how many years of marriage?
Almost 14, baby.
Jeez. How about that, Meg? So, guys, we have an announcement to make. We're switching from gas to oil. That was ridiculous. I can't believe it was streaming out like that. That was a lot of gas in there, yo. Okay, here we go. A little twisty twist action. All right, we got a real oil filter on there now.
All right.
Kohler, baby. Okay, where's the oil go? Oh, it goes in here, but we got to get that valve cover on. Hey, let's transform that drain plug so we don't have to call it every name in the book anymore. Okay, and then we'll fill up with this oil. So we got some, this is the same oil as the lawnmower. That's good to know. 1030 motor oil. All right, guys, for those of you who don't know, that's a fuel pump, okay? Look, it pumps, okay? All right, let's, yep.
Are you gonna do your torque pattern?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this thing.
That seems tight enough, no?
Yeah, that one's good. All right. That should be cut right there.
All right.
Let me, I got a blade in my pocket.
Every good man does.
Oh yeah.
That says something about a guy, in my
blade
opinion.
in your pocket?
Yeah, like when the girls bring home a guy,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna test that somehow. I'd be like, oh, I can't open this box.
Where's the other clamp? Nice.
One
man.
day, that's how I'm gonna test our future son-in-laws.
All right. Hey, Carl, you got a knife?
Carl?
I don't know.
I don't think Carl is a very popular name for their generation. Oh, how much, John?
There's a little seat.
There's 5 quarts in here.
There's that little click I was looking for.
There's 3 quarts in here. You want me to put in 2?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't pour it there. Let's get it in the oil.
I totally would have. Totally would have just
You gotta
poured
hold it. You gotta hold it.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Easy, easy, easy.
Can you imagine if I just poured it all on the ground?
I know you. How well do I know you?
I thought you had it all set up.
Nope. I don't know. Probably have to get a new filter now.
I see. Wait. been going like 5 minutes now or so?
Yeah, it's been idling. Should be warmed up by now. Everything's burned off. No oil leaks. No gas leaks. We seem stabilized. Let's go give it a run.
All right.
Hop in. Wow. Totally different. Let's go to the first switchback. Almost broke Willie again. Let's go, baby!
Willie lives.
All right, well, long story short here, guys. So Meg and I took a victorious drive. I parked it right here, okay? And then, you know what happened? I went to start it again and it didn't start. Now I got it running again. Sounded like it didn't have fuel. So I opened it up and I was looking at the fuel line, right? What is that? Oh, it's just, okay. Here, in this area, where this clamp is for the fuel, I think it had a little pinch. I think it was pinching the line. I don't like those mounts. They look like they're too small. So I just adjusted it and made sure it wasn't pinched or making any abrupt turns, and now it's starting fine. Where's my fuel? Is my fuel in here? Is that full now? Let's start it up. Let's see. Clutch. Key. Whoop. Come on now. There we go. Starts on a dime now. I don't know why it's hesitating to start like that. I don't know. Maybe that's my next problem. But okay. You know what I'm gonna do? Here's what I'm gonna do next. Meg has a suspicion that something's going on in here, so yeah, we're gonna take Meg's advice, and what do we gotta do? We gotta take this bracket off here. It just looks like there's a metal strap that holds in, kind of like a battery strap. It's actually a nice one. All right, and then we'll get that off of there. Unplug the fuel line. Disconnect the fuel meter, and then this thing should lift out without much obstruction, I would think. Yeah, there's nothing else really there. So, and then what we'll do, we will shake it around, we'll dump it and see if there's any debris in there. Let's take a look. Let's get this fuel tank out of here. I've done this, well, before, so. All right, let's get that fuel line off all the way. Ground, and that's it comes off. It's the handle, that's nice. Alright, now here's my goal here. Freely out of the way of the gas tank. We're rubbing right here. Got a bend in the middle there. right than it was. You would think you could just lift it out, right? But no. Let's make the tank a weird trapezoidal rhombus type thing.
Trapezoidal rhombus.
I am getting stuck on this cord that I was trying not to remove. And I think I'm going to remove it now. This is just the throttle cable. We'll remove this real quick.
Can we just like push it?
Nope. Look out. We can't just push it, Meg.
You've been doing this for an hour and I come out like, well, why don't you just do it this way?
Meg, you are a wise woman. Oh! Yes!
You found your missing socket.
Awesome!
I knew we'd find it. John told me his life goal is to never lose any socket in this set.
Except for these. These don't count.
Those don't count.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yep. I got that a very, very long time ago. I was probably 12 years old.
12?
When my dad bought me that.
What were you gonna do with it when you were 12? You did stuff? You got real tools, no play tools.
No. Yeah, my dad didn't buy me wussy tools. He bought me real tools. I had real saw, real hammer, the whole deal.
No Fisher Price
no
plastic
no.
tool set. You got real tools.
Real tools. Family and friends, whoever bought me this magnet tray, thanks. I know it's someone I know because it like came right to the house, but it didn't have a thanks sticker.
We don't know who they came from.
No, if you could let me know, like a text or something.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
They're already coming in handy.
Right? They didn't last long. Clean anyway.
Carmen! What you looking at, honey?
She's into something over there.
I see that.
Yeah,
watching
she was over there
something.
before.
I'm gonna go check and make sure it's not a snake.
Yeah, it might be. That's not her snake bark.
I'm gonna go show our viewers. Carmen, let's show everyone. What'd you find? Carmen was barking away over here. Hello. Hello, friend. Is he alive? He's very still. He's moving his eyes. Hi. Afraid he's gonna fall off this hill. Carmen, leave it alone. I knew she was into something. He's scared. We'll leave him be. Hopefully he won't fall off the edge of the cliff here. There you go. Looks like it's coming. Sorry.
I think I'm just gonna get it out like that.
There we go.
Alright. Tell me there's a drain plug down here. No. Okay. I feel better.
You didn't check that first.
No, I didn't see this circle. Oh, I didn't see anything underneath. Alright.
Alright.
Where's my trim tool?
Would you say that's one of your favorite tools?
It's one of the most versatile tools I've ever bought.
Yeah.
This came from like Zenith or something. It's called a trim puller. You could find it online.
You use that a lot.
It is really, really strong metal. It looks like it would just bend, but it's got to be hardened metal.
I remember it was kind of expensive for what it is, but
Yeah,
you use that so much.
Yeah, I need to just grind a new
Edge on it.
Yeah, this is designed for like pulling trim, like baseboards off and stuff, without destroying them. But now I just use it for stuff like this and for prying everything. Yeah, a lot of sand. Wow, that's diamond plate down there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty clean. No, there's debris. I thought there'd be more.
There's a bunch of sand down there. It's hard to show, guys, but there's sand in there. Man, I wish I could show it better. And I can't fit. I need an autumn. I need my daughter to get her little hand in there. I'm not gonna make her do that. Don't worry, Granny.
Probably fit my hand in there.
I don't know. Want to try?
Oh yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
Well, all right. What do we?
If you could get your hand in there just to show like how much sand is actually in there. You can. Okay.
I can, but I can't reach the bottom.
You can't?
No. Oh
Okay.
wait. Oh wow.
Really?
Ready?
Yeah.
There's like wood chips in the
Oh
bottom.
man, that's like mulch.
I
If you could get, can you get right here in
Hold
the
on.
corner?
No, I can't.
Oh man. All right, we got a
That
bat.
cannot be in there.
We got some nastiness going on here. Let me just pour in a little bit.
That's lovely.
Get some of this stuff suspended.
There's a lot in there. Like putting your hand in there, you could just feel it all over. Wood chips. You can't have wood chips in a gas tank. That's not gonna work well.
You could hear it. Listen.
Yeah. Oh.
Look at that.
That's pretty bad.
We're gonna go to town. It's funny. I used to think that was such like the country thing to say, but it's true.
That's what we're gonna do.
When you
We're
live
gonna
far
go
away from things, you
go
make
to
your trips
town.
worth it. You go to town. All right, we're gonna go to town and get we're gonna get new fuel line. This is what size? 5/16. Our new fuel pump and valve cover came with a piece of new fuel line. We'll take that piece with us for size, but we're gonna replace the piece that goes into the carb. We're gonna replace the piece before the fuel filter, which just goes all the way back here. Nothing really special about it. And we're also going to relocate this. Watch what happens here. So this is the seat, and there's a whole bracket thing. Like the seat can fold up, but this bracket also folds up. And this was totally Meg spotting it. The fuel line's getting pinched right there. And
Here, put it back down.
It's even worse when, hold on, look at Meg. It's even worse, like if you're sitting on it and you go back, like there's movement there, and you can pinch the fuel line.
Like when you're going uphill.
Yeah. And yesterday when we've got this thing going and then it's abruptly stalled on me, Meg said, scoot forward in the seat. And I did, and it started up and ran fine.
See?
And then I adjusted these things too. Yeah,
Look at that indent. That's this spot right here is where it hits the fuel line right here. That's where it lines up.
And you're probably like thinking, oh well, that's just rubber anyway. No, that's pretty hard down there after the
It's
rubber.
pinching the fuel line.
We're gonna relocate it. It's on this side because the exhaust pipe's on this side. So they're trying to keep it on, I guess, the intake side here. But I think what I'm gonna do is probably mount it
Move it
on.
up
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the air filter cover box here, just so it's up out of the way. Like it's right next to the belt.
It'll
too.
go up here then.
Correct. Let's just confirm that. Let's get the seat up. So if we have the fuel line just come here
Yeah.
and over there,
That'll be perfect.
that'd be totally fine. Maybe we could outfit something so that we can, you know, just it rests in something here like these. I don't even like these clips either, because the fuel line that's on here, there's, see, when I reassembled this and everything, I noticed it's actually squishing the hose too. So these are not properly sized for this sort of thing.
Okay. And we're gonna replace the fuel filter again.
Yeah, this came in a 2-pack. It was only about $6. So if that's contaminated, I don't want to get in here. We're gonna clean the carb again, and we need grease at the store while we're in town.
Okay, let's go.
Let's do it. Missing a screw here.
go see if I can find one?
Well, I was missing it all along. It's just...
I know.
I'd like to get that on there. This is all sparkly clean inside.
Great.
It's all dry too.
Let me go find you a screw. This container of screws was John's grandfather's. And John inherited it, and we use it all the time. I mean, that one looks pretty good, right? That'll work. Here. This one looks good to me.
No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be mean. It's
Can you give me a sample one?
Yeah.
All right.
It's not a tip. It's
Okay. We need one like this. All right. I think one of those is going to be close. Let's go see.
Yeah, it won't work. It's our lucky one.
Yeah?
Our lucky screw. Yeah.
Okay.
Carburetor out. We figured, here, let's just show it. See the floats in there? Let's get this jet back in place. Hold on, there we go. Now you can see the floats,
floating.
they're floating. And you could also see that the needle is working. Yeah, it's going up and down too. So, all right, we're gonna take apart the float mechanism here.
Mm-hmm.
And check out this needle. That's spotless. This had a little...
We got the carburetor cleaned as much as we possibly can. Now we're putting on new fuel lines. We're going to replace the fuel filter. There's nothing else that can be done. Right, John?
Who knows?
Oh. So it'll take a second for the fuel line to fill up, right?
Yeah.
Is there... There's no fuel in here.
There is a little.
What I'm thinking, John, is that, like, there's no way, like, if the pump is here and it doesn't have any gas to get it going, how does it fill?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, it's rough when you drain everything like this.
Yeah. How can we fill that? Want to take off the filter and, like, dip it in gas?
Take off the filter?
Take this filter off and, like, prime it. So you, like, dip it in gas so it fills with gas, then put it back on the line so it has, like, some gas to pull.
Megan, there's gas in here. Can you see it? Look at the line. See the line?
Oh, okay. That's not as much as that will work. There we go.
This took a turned it upside down so the pump had that fuel in the filter.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you were right. It's just...
Like, that's why it wasn't starting. It doesn't have any fuel.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Pretty smooth.
All right. That looks better.
Awesome.
There we go.
Meg, you did a good job with the Willy logo.
Thanks.
Goonies never say die. Let's take this rocker off. That's already oiled. I'm gonna clean out the...
Maddie! She just drank your coffee.
Leave her alone. She's fine. You can have it, Maddie.
You like it, Maddie? You like coffee? All right. Does it help when you do the noise?
Boop, 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 boop. Ha-ha!
Washer.
Here, get it.
Oh.